Good morning. Let's take a look at some of the very speculative plays yesterday. We are so close to a 93 quid profit. You could have got a green screen here at the 1-1. Goal coming at a decent enough time to produce a green screen. But what I try to do for members of footballtradingprofits.com is to create this kind of a scenario. You could have actually got rid of that 40 quid as well for Breeder Blick. Their odds went up quite a lot. But I want to leave you with a small amount on the draw to try to incentivize you to stay in and look for that 93 quid. Didn't come in on this occasion. Real pity. So close. That would have been a rather nice play. Similar story. AIK and Diori. I called the goal right. Now you could have actually got out with a break even. 2-0 to 2-1. Giori got the goal. And again, we're a goal away from 46 quid. On another night, these pop in. Very disappointed AZ Alkmaar in the over 2.5 goal market first half goals. Only the one goal on this occasion, where previously at the same odds, they scored 4 before half time. Diffidanga and Tallinn, again, keep your liability low. Diffidanga really going for the late equaliser, already scoring 2 goals against FC Tallinn. So if they score 2 goals, they've got a chance of a third. Keep your liability low. This is a very special technique I use for members where we've got an extremely good payout for an extremely low liability. Steaua Bucharest, again, first half goals 2.5. Didn't oblige on this occasion. This worked for, I think it was Sparta Prague earlier on in the night against Ararat Armenia. Do look out for that this season. If the underdog scores first and early and you've got the vast majority of the half to go, you can often get really decent odds in the first half goal, 2.5 goal market, bearing in mind a goal has already been scored. All you need is one more goal and that will produce a green screen. Don't forget, trading is not about getting it right. We're not after 3 goals in the first half. We're after the hint of 3 goals as traders. That's what we're after. Did get it right in the match odds, though. But we went round the houses with this one because I should have got involved at 0-2 as well as 0-1. Getting involved in the match odds like that paid off nicely. Hacken and Brandt, again, keep your liability low. £3.24 loss on Bran. Why did I get involved here? It's because I was impressed with Hacken's performance against Anderlecht. Anderlecht usually go deep in European competitions. Bran, 2-goal lead is the perfect entry point because it's not costing you much to find out whether Hacken turn up today. Sparta Prague and Ararat Armenia. Great first half. Over 2.5 goal play. This is what I'm talking about. Let's just break here and take a look at how the match unfolded. So if you look at the profile of this match, Sparta Prague, Ararat Armenia, you've got a 1.27 home favourite. Okay. Now, let's look at how the match unfolded. And this is something you can bring into this new season. Bear in mind, you're looking for matches where the odds suggest a goal before half-time for the favourite. That's what this suggests. This suggests it should be a win to 0, but this does suggest a goal before half-time for the favourite. 3-0, 3-1, any other home score. That's embedded in these prices. So the assumption is, with Balanta scoring a 7th-minute goal, how much of the first half have you got left? 38 minutes. You've already got 1 goal scored. Don't forget that. First half goals 2.5 therefore becomes extremely good value. Look at that profit. That was with all of the goals coming in. But you could be out here. Why? Because of the hint. With 20 minutes to go, 2 goals already scored. The half-time first half 2.5 goal market is thinking, we've got a good chance of coming in here. So you're going to get a really good odd swing. Watch out for that this new season. Really good value. Really good value. First half goals 2.5. In a 1.3 or lower the favourite match when the underdog has scored first and early. Very, very good value. Just relative. Vikingur and Lingfield again. Lingfield did deserve something out of this, which is why I took on that draw late on in the half-time market. They were dominating the in-play stats coming up to half-time. The momentum was moving. They did deserve it. But again, it's not costing you much to find out, is it? But if you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the prize. And we nearly won the prize with this one, didn't we? One goal away from turning a £2.14 loss into a £93 profit. So it's a night of what ifs and might have beens. But I think I played the first legs as well as I could, keeping liability as low as possible. I did miss out on some obvious plays as well. If you look through the odds, it's just difficult who to trust in these first legs. That's the problem. But we had the likes of HJK Helsinki turning up. We had the likes of Steaua Bucharest, 2 goals down. That would have been a perfect time to take them on. But then we had the likes of PAOK failing to score at 1.38 favourite. So it's swings and roundabouts. Noah failing to win at odds on. The mighty Noah. So I enjoyed some of the plays yesterday. I'm happy I kept liabilities as low as possible. We live to fight another day and we were on the cusp. Yeah, thanks AZ. Turning that into 3+ goals, but only one before half-time. The bar stewards. Sparta Prague, the profit maker there. 1.53 shot, losing 0-5. What on earth is that about? That just proves to you how difficult it is to gauge these sides from different corners of Europe in their secondary tiers. This was an obvious play. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Besiktas not going to let this lot, St. Pat's, off the hook at all. That gift from the gods. And look at the relationship again between odds and scoreline. You're going to see this a lot this season. Hashtag split is one which didn't pass, or I didn't get on. Should have got on, because that was a very nice play. Could have done insurance with this one. But the Israelis really very poor in Europe over the weekend. Well, I doff my hat to Dundee United. Another short odds getting done. So watch out for the second leg at Dundee. That's going to be a humdinger. Looking on to today, let's not mention Zambia, where I was born. They are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. Obviously, must be a fix, this one. Goodness me. Let's take a look on to today. And I'm not going to be doing much research this weekend. It's just occurred to me, what on earth is the point in me listing all of these matches when I've got absolutely nothing to offer you, research-wise? So what I have done for the weekend is to provide you with some key pieces of information in the Championship League 1 and League 2. Those are newly promoted to these leagues, newly relegated to these leagues, and the also-rans and the near misses from last season. Because the near misses like Sheffield United, points are going to be ever so precious. So you can bet they're going to be even more focused this season, because they were just so near to the Premier League, but they're stuck here again. And those who avoided relegation. So I've done that for you. And I've also done it with French Ligue 2 and the German Bundesliga as well. So you've got a fair look. For example, Saint-Etienne, Montpellier and Reims are the newly relegated sides in French Ligue 2. Likely to dominate, I would say. But let's go to Friday, which is where we are at today. So research a little bit shorn for the weekend. I'm not spending all day cutting and pasting the Championship only to provide you with no angles, because there are no angles. Algeria and South Africa. This looks good odds for Algeria. If you look at the FIFA World Rankings, FIFA World Ranking. Not the women's, please. Algerian national side. The FIFA World Rankings. I'm not going to mention that sugared water. If they all drank that sugared water, they wouldn't be playing football. They will have diabetes. But let's have a look. Algeria. You normally get the competitions or the countries. Algeria 36th in the world rankings. South Africa, I warrant, are not 36th or lower. They're not even on the page. So that 1.94 does look rather generous for Algeria today, doesn't it? And I would like to help you out, but I do need to be taking my days off. As you know, I got hacked earlier and I've got to earn some extra income. Well, I'm not going to go into it. So that is on the radar. That looks very good value. 36th in the world. As long as they're playing with their first 11. And there's no reason not to. Unless, well, the major European leagues have not started yet. Let's go down. Belgian Jupiler League sent Truiden and Dender. I think Dender are newly promoted, or are they? We've got a website which will tell you that. And at this stage of the season, which is why I did those reports for you tomorrow, newly promoted, newly relegated are key angles in. Belgian Jupiler League will have to go, I think, or yeah, we're going to have to go to Google for this. There we go. I've already asked Google for it. Just want to see if Dender were in the league last season. And it's making it as difficult as possible for me to find out. Dender. Yes, they were 12th last season. So not newly promoted or newly relegated. Just not a name that stood out for me. The Challenge Pro League. I would be interested in this primarily for the newly relegated from the Jupiler League, if they're playing at all. Of course, odds-on favourites always get a good look in, which is why I quite like the Chinese Super League, which has been very readable. DZ are playing a newly promoted side in Vukovar. Now, that, as you very well know by now, brings with it expectations. But do note that Dinamo Zagreb played Dragovaljak a couple of seasons ago, newly promoted, and Dragovaljak beat them. So that's going to be interesting. Is there any stopping Copenhagen? The only thing to stop Copenhagen this season would be the European distraction. They're scoring 2+ goals with aplomb, as Ron, manager, would say. Real trustworthy side so far this season. They're certainly on the radar. Danish First Division, again, a bit like the league above. Belgian Challenge Pro League, newly relegated to the First Division, might find us some action. And it's also a good over 2.5 goals league. Birmingham and Ipswich, isn't this newly promoted v newly relegated? And if you note, based on last season, there's a 2-league gap between Birmingham and Ipswich. That's nowhere near factored in to these odds today. So that tells a story, doesn't it? Very difficult match to unpack. But I'm always with the newly relegated side when they're playing a newly promoted side. As long as they keep the vast majority of the spine of the team, then surely that season also in the Premier League is going to do something against a side who were playing in English League One for the whole of that season. The English Professional Development League, I did a report or a podcast yesterday on the English Professional Development League because it is an exceptional goals league. exceptional. You can pin your hat on over 2.5 goals in this league. Now, of course, me saying that, it's going to end 0-0. But we go down. English Professional Development League stats not there at the moment. But let's see if we've got 2024, 2025 stats. Probably not. But it is very well known for its goals. Pity we can't go back in time here just to convince you. Very well worth following. 1.1 already is suggesting an absolute goal fest today. Talking of goal fests, Inter Turku, Finnish Vikings League, have been exceptional this season. 2-2 against Guinnesston recently, I think it was. Or am I getting the Inters mixed up with the Ilveses? They are very well deserved home favourites today, and that should be banker material. German Bundesliga 2. Watch out for newly relegated sides. I don't think they're playing today, but they will be on the roster. The coupon today is suggesting we just don't play, really. 2.25 for away favourites. Market hasn't got a clue. Debrecen, familiar name in Hungary. I'm starting to expand my leagues now. I've had some success with the Serbian league with Partizan Belgrade. It's just when the in-play stats marry up with the form lines, you can get some good trades. And there's why limit myself to these elite leagues when you can have some good candidates in these lesser leagues, particularly Ferencvaros, or a focus when you go to leagues like this on the Europa League and Champions League candidates. Debrecen, I think, very familiar name. Derry and Cork. Cork City are your archetypal newly promoted and struggling. So Derry City, I think 3rd or 4th in the Irish Premier Division, should offer us something. Waterford are usually gettable, but we will see today against the Drogs. Co-Bramblers and Bray. Bray have an exceptional set of stats. Since the 28th of March, no 0-0 at half-time. How's that for a starter? Starter for 10. They also have a couple of goals in them as well. So Co-Bramblers are going to be made to work, and that is amply reflected in the 2.33 quote today. Athlone, well, if you're getting beaten by 4 goals by the likes of Kerry, then Dundalk could be licking their lips. But there is a red flag. Dundalk against Athlone this season, been a 1-0 win. So, and against the bottom sides away from at home, very tight 1-0 matches. That's not what these odds suggest, though. Kerry and Finn Harps could be absolutely wide open. I would even go as far as to put in a 2-2 or a 3-3 as a trading angle in this one. They found their scoring boots against Athlone. Can they do so again against Finn Harps? I've done the full research for members of footballtradingprofits.com. UCD against Wexford. Well, UCD are another side who in head-to-heads are scoring 2+ goals against Wexford, as indeed St. Pat's were. So that could be a clue today as to expectation. We're expecting 2+ goals from UCD. Fortuna Sittard are playing Go Ahead Eagles. It's the opening of the Eredivisie. Go Ahead Eagles already played PSV Eindhoven in the Johan Cruyff Cup. Scored first, but were eventually worn down to a 2-1 loss. The Dutch Eerste Divisie. I don't think we can look at last season in the Dutch Eerste Divisie. Or maybe we can. This is your Friday goal fest. What I tend to do in the Eerste Divisie is to go to a bookmaker and back over 2.5 goals and both teams to score in an accumulator for the matches on that particular day. You've got an exceptional chance of it coming in. There's goals, 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 goals. An average of 3.02 goals per match last season. Pushing 60% over 2.5 goals. It's really good stuff. 1,146 goals. Goodness me. Both teams have scored in over 50% of matches. So your slants here in this Dutch Eerste Divisie. Again, maintain a focus on the newly relegated teams, because we had a couple of seasons ago, the two newly relegated sides were the sides who finished first and second. So let's go to the Eredivisie. Let's have a look at the 2024-2025 season. Get ourselves a look in at Almere, RKC Waalwijk, possibly Willem II. So remember the names: Willem II, Waalwijk and Almere City. All heading off to this lower tier. It has a reputation of these newly relegated sides dominating. So we will see if that's the case in the Eerste Divisie. Do we have them playing tonight? Well, we don't, do we? The newly relegated sides just yet. But to watch out for them. An absolute goal-fest league under the right conditions. The market already giving you clues. I have done a report, as I say, and it lists the sides to follow from last season who helped the goals along. I'll perhaps put that report in today's research for you as well. It was in yesterday's. The Extraklasse, Tamilika remain newly promoted and therefore have a potential target on their back. Not too interested in the first division once we get the elite leagues coming. And the start of the Portuguese Primeira Liga, Sporting Lisbon only lost one match last season. So you're going to be expecting 2 or 3 goals from them today. Again, Romanian Super League maybe get some interest because Metaglobus Bucharest are newly promoted and therefore a little bit vulnerable. But this is a Bucharest derby. I don't like playing derbies, be they geographical, Man United, Man City, or derby-style matches, Man United, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal. Can be too tough to call. 2 newly relegated sides meeting each other in the Championship. Going to be very tough to call that one. And we've got Galatasaray out and about today. It was a tough season last season in Turkey, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look at 2024-2025. I thought it was a bit tight at the top. Am I right or not? No, it was pretty emphatic. I think I'm getting them mixed up, getting Sporting Lisbon mixed up with Galatasaray, unless they both only had the single loss all season. So tough nut to crack, Gala, this season. Expect them to deliver more often than not, particularly when coming from behind. I wonder if we have those equalising stats. Look at this. Only one loss against Besiktas last season. They're playing, I think, Göztepe. No, Gaziantepspor. Gaziantepspor, 3-1 home win, 0-1 away win. So a bit tighter on the away win, but still an absolute dominant force throughout. We're expecting, 2 or 3 goals. You can see that pattern against the bottom third sides. Do we have any stats for coming from behind? Let's have a look. First goals, leading and trailing. So opponents scored first in 2 out of 18. So they're not going to give us many trades. But they do so away. Opponents scored first in 4 out of 18. Bear in mind, they only lost 1 match last season. So anytime the opponent scores first, I think you've got a green light this season if they retain the main spine of their team. So it's a very good coupon this evening. I do need to take a day off. I do tempt you in with saying that I'm going to be playing, but I must take a day off. I've got a lot of other projects on. I must start rebuilding my income after that complete and utter stole all my cash at the start of the year. You can see I'm still upset about it. And that was back in January. I'm actually going to the police today in Thailand. They've got a cyber crime unit. So they're more professional than the Guernsey police, who just couldn't be asked. And for that reason, I've stopped paying all Guernsey taxes now. Pay tax for the police to help you when they need you, but they don't help at all. and they haven't helped. So enough about my woes with hackers. Let's get focused on making some money. So new start of the season, newly promoted, newly relegated are the dominant sides. We've got plenty of examples of them today. Vukovar, vulnerable. Others as well. Don't forget Algeria could be a force to be reckoned with. Newly promoted, newly relegated in the championship. Have a great day. It's already long video. Have a great day. If I am up and about, as ever, I do say I will pass things on, but let's see if I do or not. I'll certainly be seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day.